Minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay. Rep your city. Let me see the mic. Rep your city. Give me the mic. Rep your city. I got you. Rep your city. I'm gonna tell you now, man. Rep your city.
It's time for us to go live, so rep your city. I really would appreciate if y'all roll with me. Feeling this music cause it makes me wanna step. And if you don't want to, then you lying to yourself. Cause every time we party, we gon' have fun. I don't know about you, but I'ma rep where I'm from.
Rep your city. Okay. Rep your city. Let me see the mic. Rep your city. Give me the mic. Rep your city.
Welcome to the RYC Live show this evening. I am your host for tonight. My name is Artistic, and welcome to Fresh Fridays. We do this each and every Friday night at 8 p.m., and we broadcast live right here coming from out of Chicago, and we circulate around the globe. So shout out to all our viewers tuning in. We want to just say thank you for your continued support over the years. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, RYC Live. That's RYC Live. You can also send us a friend request and follow us on Facebook at RYC Live or Rep Yo City. And please, if you'd like to be a guest on a future show, please do send us a friend request. And you can also send us an email at ryclive at yahoo.com. That's ryclive at yahoo.com. Let me send a super shout out to my homeboy Wade checking in from Atlanta, ATL. What's happening? Yeah, please do share this segment tonight. We got a special guest, my homeboy from around the way. We're going to get into talking about his story in just a moment. But before I bring him out, I just like to encourage everyone to, like I said, if you haven't done so already, please do share this broadcast. Share it to your page. Share it to any other person that you think might be interested, and let them hear the story or stories that we continue to provide here on this platform for Chicago hip hop and Chicago hip hop most definitely, but hip hop in general as well. This show is all about history and heritage. So I get a real enjoyment out of talking to people about their stories and the things that they've contributed and achieved over the years. Because we're getting to that point to where, we may not be able to share our stories continually much more longer. And so that now is a good time to do it while you still can. So if, again, you'd like to be a future guest on a future show, please do send us an email to ryclive at yahoo.com. That's ryclive at yahoo.com. And if you like the programming that you're getting from us here on this platform, you can also send us a donation. We are more than happy to accept any donations, small or large. You can send those to our Cash App at RYC Live. That's RYC Live is our Cash App. Shout out to my homeboy Nino checking in from Phoenix, Arizona. Chirac, another one of our Chirac legend brothers checking in. That's right. Everybody check on in. Rep your city. Rep where you coming from. Even if you're not in Chicago no more, tell us where you're living at today. Yeah, and share this broadcast. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my homeboy from around the way. Hey, listen, man, this dude I always kind of looked at as a quiet storm. He was quiet, but the dude was about business when it came to his music. As a DJ back in the days. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the man was was nothing nice to mess with on those turntables. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to learn about his story tonight. We're going to learn about some of the contributions that he's been a part of and some of the crews that he's been a part of. So I'm not going to tell his story because it's not my job to do that. I'm just going to allow him to tell his story. So who y'all think we got tonight? This is the man, the legend, the one and only DJ Chainsaw.
Yeah,
There
what's up?
There he is. What's happening? What's happening?
What's going on, bro?
Man, good to see you, and welcome to the RYC Live show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's been a long time in coming.
Yeah, man. I heard you mention my guy Nino. Tell him, say what's up. That's my guy Nino Euphonics. That's my guy.
Yes, sir. He can hear you, man. He's watching.
Okay. What up, Nino?
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So, hey, man, listen, man. What we want to do is this time that we want to go all the way back to the beginning. And what I like to know is, like, what was it that you were doing prior to getting into music? Like, what were some of the things? Like, for me, for example, before I got into hip hop, I was into bikes and video games, you know, and then after that, I slowly got into, you know, breakdancing because I was seeing it everywhere, and I was like, I want to learn how to do that.
Right.
So, how was it for you, man, coming up in the back in the day?
Well, I was into sports at the time.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say I was big into music, you know, even though music was around me, you know, people playing, you know, the Jackson 5 and all that, you know. But I was into sports, you know. I was into football and I was into baseball.
Okay.
You know, and that's why, you know, I used to play Little League, you know, play, you know, for the neighborhood football team, you know, from the Adderby Wells, you know, Manton Park, you know, things like that before I got into hip hop.
Nice.
Actually, hip hop snatched me away from that dream.
Oh wow! So was that something that you were trying to pursue?
Oh yeah, I was nice. I ain't gonna lie, I was nice in both of them. But I really want to be a football player, and I really want to be the next Walter Payton.
Wow,
that was my favorite running back. I wanted to be that guy so bad, man. And that's all I dreamed about was being him. You know, when you play football and everybody choose a name, I'm the first one to say Walter Payton. Wow. They get to the point where they only as soon as they choose they just Walter Payton. And then everybody else choose their other names, you know what I'm saying? But once I got into once hip hop crossed my path, it was over.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about when you can remember that time happening. You know, from that making that transition from sports over into hip hop. What was that like? What was it? Was it a song or was it something in your neighborhood that kind of made you say, you know, this is what I want to do? What was it like for you?
Actually, my brother, he was in the Marines. And after he did his 4 years, he came home, and he had you know those ammunition boxes where they keep the ammo in them metal boxes. He brought some of those home, but they was full of tapes. You know what I'm saying? He had a brand new stereo and all that. So I was just one day going through all his tapes, just, you know, listening to it and everything. And the first person I ran into, I believe, was Blowfly. I don't know if you remember Blowfly.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And when I heard it, it was different from everything else I was hearing. So from that, I'm trying to think, was it Rapper's Delight or something on there? That I believe it was Rapper's Delight. And when I heard that, that was different from everything else. So I didn't even know it was rapping. I just knew I liked it. And I, you know, rewind it back, listen to it again. I just kept listening to it. And I was like, I like that, you know. So one day, my other brother, you know what I'm saying, my other brother, he was on folks, you know, over there. And him and his folks buddy, you know, came to the house. So I was listening to the tape. And while he was upstairs, you know, his folks buddy was like, you know, they called me Jamie at the time around there. So he's like, Jamie, he said, you like that? I said, what? He said, what you listen to? I said, yeah. And he said, you know what that is? And I was like, no. He said, it's called rap. That's rap music. I said, rap music? He said, yeah. He said, actually, it's this station. He said that they play this type of stuff he said they play it all day long, you know what I'm saying, at night. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. He said, man, he told me, he said it's 88.5. He said WHP, it's called WHP. He says it's college station. He said, man, I got tapes full of that type of stuff. So he said, he told me when to come on. He said, what you do is go buy you some tapes. He said, just put it in the tape deck and just hit record.
Oh, okay, now hold on one thought. So your brother though had tapes. Where was he getting his recordings from?
I'm assuming why he was with the Marines.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I think he was in Singapore.
Okay.
And then they go to New York, and you know, they was, you know, going to different places.
Okay.
So he was more into, you know, like on the OJs and all that type of stuff.
Okay.
But he had, you know, his regular you know, the regular tapes that you record on. That's where the Rapper Delight come on. I don't even know if he knew he had it. You know what I'm saying? And I just happened to run into it. And he heard me listening to it. So that's how that happened.
Okay, gotcha.
You know. So, and you know, and my brother, his friend, his homie, Big Dre, that was his name, Big Dre. He was like, man, I got tons of that. He said, man, I listen to them every Friday, and so he said, you know, it's hard to get. So he's like, get like about an hour or 30 minutes, try to get to the station, so you know, try to get as clear as possible.
Right.
You know, so the night came. You know, I ran up to the Chinese store that morning up on 35th, and you know those gray and black, what was those? Tone Masters. Tone Masters.
Yeah.
Man, I would have bought a pack of those for $1. Man, I swear, Art. Well, I got home, I popped that in, and I hit record, and I was out at first. I think it was JP Chill was the first person I heard on that.
Okay.
Because I remember him saying, yeah, it's you know, the rap show, JP Chill, and so I'm listening. You know, he new to me, so I'm listening. I said, okay, and then next thing I know, he just started playing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening like, wow. But you know, as I'm listening, I done dozed off.
Right.
So when I woke up, the first thing I did was reach for that tape. You know,
right.
He had the reverse joint on the things on both sides.
Yeah.
And I started listening, but you know who really drew me into hip hop? When I heard Schoolie D, Gucci Time.
Wow.
When I heard, because it was different from everything else. You know, everything else was lyrical.
Right.
But when I heard him, and I was like, you know, he was cursing. That's what drew me to him. I was like, I was sitting there like, whoa, this dude. I said, he let it go too. You know what I'm saying? I had to turn the radio down and grab the headphones. I knew my father had been like, man, what the hell you listen to, you know, and all that. Yeah. So, man, from that, I just started falling in love. I just started listening to that. I been an HBK fan. I was making sure I knew every night they came on. I had my, you know, Tone Master tapes, throwing them in there, just let them record, all that.
Okay, so for the record, who was it that introduced you to HBK?
My brother's homie, Big Dre.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he was one of his folks homie from around the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And he introduced me to WHBK.
Wow. Yeah, man, that was an epic time, man. That was definitely epic time. And so after that, did you tune in on a regular basis after that?
Man, I listened every time he came on, I was listening.
Yeah.
I hit record and just listen.
Yeah.
Listen. And then what really amazed me once I started getting in tune with it is when I started hearing Purple Mansion.
Okay.
When I started hearing Purple Mansion, Majestic Force, MC Pooh, and they was like, they from Chicago. I was like, damn. I was like, we got rappers here? That's the first thing came to my mind. I didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? And I started listening to them guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Record everything, you know, Majestic Force, the buck stops here all the time, y'all. All that, man, all that. You know, Drake side, all them guys I was listening to.
Right. Wow. So prior to that, you just was aware that people were rapping, but you didn't really understand or know that they were rappers here in Chicago.
Exactly. Because everything, you know, he say, you know, JPE or, you know, Icebox, you just I just went to New York the other day and came back with more stuff, you know, and all that, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming it was all New York.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know it started, you know, even got to the grounds here because, you know, house music was everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even know somebody didn't picked up on it already. You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming New York or Philly. You know what I'm saying? Because when he was playing, because, you know, Steady B was one of my favorites too. I used to listen to. You know what I'm saying? The Hilltop Hustlers. I love them guys. You know what I'm saying? And actually the DJs of Philly, which really made me start really listening to the DJs. You know what I'm saying? Jam Master Jay had a part in it. I'm not, had a part in it. And either Cut Creator, you know what I'm saying? LDJ, but and Marley Marl, let me tell you, Marley Marl definitely influenced me when I was hearing DJing. But when I started hearing Tat Money and Cold Money and all them guys, it was like, and Cash Money, these guys just seemed different from the New York DJs for me for some reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like they was more hungry, I guess. You know what I'm saying, to prove themselves. So that's what drew me to them more. You know?
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. You know, and I mean, you know, all those flavors were cooking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because, you know, even though people that was coming from other states and cities, you know, outside of New York, they still was considered East Coast, you know, Philadelphia, New Jersey,
right.
You know, all those were still considered know, East Coast, you know.
Right. DC, all that.
Yeah. That's what's up. You know, a lot of people don't even know. Some people may not even know that Ice-T was originally from New Jersey.
Exactly.
Before he went to California.
Right. Just like a lot of people didn't know Corrupt was from Philadelphia and went to California. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, so now what year would you say this was happening when you kind of like first heard HBK?
I had to be about 13, 14.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to be about 13, 14. I'd say I'll put more like 14 because I know I was just in high school.
Okay.
You know, and I remember because that's when I was still playing football.
Okay.
But I started listening. I started listening to hip hop. I started getting into it, and then I think I saw Wild Style first, and that made me even more interested. I started seeing the graffiti part of it, you know, because I didn't even know about that part.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing the guys, you know, and all that. And I'm like, wow, you know, all my mind was, man, I wish I was there with them guys. They, you know what I'm saying? They you know, having fun, all that type of stuff, you know. So I started neglecting the football. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to practice, this and that. So one day at my homeroom, my coach showed up and pulled me in the hallway. He said, "What you gonna do? You ain't been coming to practice? You know, this and that." So I was like, man, I'm done.
Wow.
You know, yeah. Wow. He was like, well, bring your equipment in tomorrow to us. You know, he was actually mad. I know he was mad. You know what I'm saying? Because I was one of the you know best players he had on the team. So I know he was mad. Okay. So, but I just started getting into it. You know,
yeah.
You know, hip hop. It just started just pulling me. It was just something about it. It just started pulling me.
Wow. And what high school did you go to, Chain?
Phillips, Wendell Phillips.
Phillips. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting, man. That's real interesting. Like I've heard a few people say that they were into sports before hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the way you're telling your story is interesting, because like you're saying, you were kind of seeking that path.
Right.
Hip hop said, "Hey, excuse me."
Yeah.
Over here.
Because I swear, I had my whole mind made up of what I want to do. I want to, you know, get a football scholarship. I want to either go to Illinois or Michigan. I had all this in my mind. All this in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the best student, but I said, I know I could get through this somehow. But when hip hop said, and knocked that door, and I opened it up, it was over with.
Wow.
And I just became a fan of football, just watching it, but I was just into hip hop.
Now, what about your family, like in terms of like maybe your mother or other family members? How did they feel with that decision that you was making?
They really didn't understand, but they understood.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They really didn't understand, but they understood. Give me 1 second, Art. Cut 1 second.
Okay.
My battery, it just said my battery low. I don't know how it got low that quick.
Okay.
Hold on for 1 second.
Once again, I want to shout out to everyone tuning in. Shout out to Taya Sharpry. I think that's how it's pronounced. She say, "Love your shows." Well, thank you. We appreciate that. You know, thank you for tuning in.
All right, pardon me for that, man.
No problem.
Yeah, but yeah, my mother and father, they actually I could say they supported it. You know, they wasn't no big fan, but they like, you know, he young, whatever. That's how they took it.
Okay.
You know, it was new to them. You know, especially once I start, you know, bringing in records and equipment and all that. And then when the speakers came and their room is right next to mine, that's when the problem kind of came in. You know, 'cause you know, we want to turn it up loud. It's hip hop. You want to that bass. Oh, they wasn't having that. Only when they downstairs is when I could turn it up. In the room, no, put some headphones on.
Wow. Now, what was your address that you know, where you had this infamous room that became, you know, like a museum? Where was this at located in the Wells?
Oh, in Abbey Wells on 38th and Vincennes, 601 East 38th Street.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, let me ask you this. At the time where you were living in your unit, did you know any other hip hoppers in the area, or how did you begin to learn about others that was in the area?
At the time, I think the only other person was Massive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because me and Massive had a lot in common. You know what I'm saying? We had other buddies, but they wasn't really they liked rap, but they wasn't into it like how we started getting into it. So it was like really me and Massive that was really into it. You know what I'm saying? And then come to find out that Massive and Kingdom was cousins. That's how I met Kingdom.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I met Kingdom. And the first two hip hop guys I ever met was Kingdom and Mass. Well, Mass was already with me, but Kingdom was really, you know. And then when I started, you know, finding out about Kingdom when he was, you know, Cosmo C at the time, you know what I'm saying? And when I started traveling with him, that's when I started really knowing Kingdom, you know, when he was Cosmo C at the time, Kingdom was out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was getting around.
Yeah.
He was getting around.
Wow. Cosmo C, yeah. Now, was this during the time when he was popping? Because I understand he was a popper.
I don't know if he was. No, I don't think he was popping at the time when I met him. I think that's when he was rapping.
Okay, gotcha.
That's when Kingdom was rapping. But he probably was popping. Yeah, I believe he was popping before then because Cosmo C wasn't no MC name. That was more like a popping name.
Yeah, man, we got a lot. We got so many things that we've had up under our belts over the years.
Yeah.
Okay, so Massive and Kingdom were the first two that in your neighborhood that you kind of met that was in the game.
Yeah, but let me take this back because it was hip hoppers in there because we had what's his name, Billy.
Okay, Billy, is that Billy the beatboxer?
Yeah, Billy the beatboxer, and Raymond and Ray. I can't MC Ray, his guy who he was rapping with, and then we had our guy Bubba who beatboxed. You know what I'm saying? And who else? And I had a couple. Let me take back because like you said, now my mind is refreshing. Yeah, it was a few guys there, you know, that actually rapped in the Wells.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I had my guy Maurice. He was actually one of the first people I knew that had turntables.
Okay.
You know, and I used to be over his house and he used to, you know, because he wanted to be Jam Master Jay so bad. That was his thing. You know what I'm saying? He had the King of Rock cover right in front of his on top of his mixer. You know, so he could keep looking at Jay and, you know, while he doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Then I had another guy named Pooh. He started rapping. Who else over there in the Wells? It was plenty of guys over there.
Nice.
You know, to come to think about it, you know what I'm saying, that rap, you know what I'm saying, through the Wells.
That's what's up. And actually, you know, I remember back, you know, because we all went to Dunbar, me, Kingdom, right, and so many others, right?
Right.
But back in the day, you know, we was calling Prodigy Lord Ski.
Right, Lord Ski. Lord Ski. Yep.
Like Lord Ski.
Yeah, Lord Ski. Yep, Lord Ski.
Yeah, man, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about a little bit more how things began to develop for you, because obviously did DJing become your number one element? Your first element?
Yeah.
Okay.
DJ was. I called myself trying to do graffiti, but Riot shut me down from that.
Oh wow!
when he saw my first drawing, he was like, So I knew I wasn't gonna be no graffiti writer. You know what I'm saying? Only tagged my name probably about 3 times through the whole year, through the years of being hip hop. I was trying to go by Zen, Z-E-N. That's what I was gonna call myself, Zen. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know where I made it up from. I just knew it sounded like a writer's name.
Okay.
So
Nice.
And then Ryan was like Zen. And then he's like, man, boy, Ryan, boy, man, go ahead and let me see you do something on the paper. Do something on the paper. Man, Art, I straight bit from Ramo. I was trying to think of B Street and stuff he was I had a train coming out of clouds. I had a cow jumping over the moon. I had all types of stuff. Ryan saw that. He said, boy, be ready, dog. Hell no. He said, stick to DJ, boy. Stick to DJ.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's one of those things where when you're looking into hip hop, you're trying to discover how it all works. And then you're trying to see where you can fit in the equation.
Exactly.
And you're like, wait a minute, I like that. That's cool, but I can't do it. I like this over here, but I think I can do this one. I think I'm going to go this route.
Exactly. Just like pop locking. That wasn't my thing.
Okay.
I'll pop lock in my room by myself, but outside, I'm not going to do that. Especially when I saw the guys who could do it and they all smooth with it. I said, nah.
Now, I understand that also in your neighborhood or community, there was a well-known group called Venus Electronics.
Yeah.
And I understand they were great back in the day.
Them guys was cold. And they was cold, and they was, they got well known throughout Chicago.
Yeah.
They was doing shows and everything. Yeah. Them guys was cold.
Yeah. That's what's up. And they were right from your community, huh?
Yeah. They from the Darrell homes. You know what I'm saying? The tall buildings right around the wells.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? That's where they was from. But it's all the low end, we call it. But them guys was cold, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember. Them guys was cold.
That's what's up. Okay. All right. So paint us the picture as you continue to kind of go through the path of working on becoming a DJ.
And then from there, after I saw Maurice, doing his thing and everything, I didn't get no professional tables. I just started getting a record player, a couple of record players. I can't even remember where I got them from. I think I got them from, I'm thinking Jewtown, when they had the side part where they be out there selling stuff.
Right.
The people be out there selling under their umbrellas and everything. I think that's where I copped them from.
Okay.
And and then I put I had cut album covers into circular out, circular them out to go on top of them and everything. And then I actually brought a mixer. I went and brought a mixer. I had brought that. I've been going downtown buying that from off of State Street.
Okay.
And everything. So I just started getting things together, get my hands on speakers and things like that. And then start buying vinyl and everything. What I used to do is when I listened to HBK, I listened to JP and them say the name of what it is and write it down.
Uh-huh.
And it used to be this record store called Norman's Records on 35th.
Okay.
Now they didn't know nothing about rap at first.
Okay.
All they knew was R&B and all that. So I went up there and I was like, I'm trying to see if y'all get. I say something like, I'm trying to see if y'all get Steady B bring the beat back. They like, who? Steady who? They older guys, so they look like, what you talking about? I said, Steady B bring the beat back. What is it? What it's about? I said, it's a rap. So, but I had got them into buying rap music because they like, you know what? They start writing my stuff down. They said, we're going to call the distributor and see if they get it. Say if we got it, we'll give you a call. You know what I'm saying? So they said we get 2 shipments in. We get one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So it could be either one. So when they start getting it, they'd call me like, yeah, we got it up here. And I'll, race up there to go get it right quick. Next thing I know, they start having a section for rap. They start having a whole section for hip hop, and all that. You see the Fat Boys, everybody in there. And they never had it in there before.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, ain't that something, man?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, because they weren't even thinking about they ain't even heard rap,
Right.
Until I started giving them, names of albums, and they call and order them, and they ship them up to them and everything. And excuse me, and they used to ask me, "Oh, have you heard of so and so, and all that type of stuff?" How good is it? People listen to them, to see if they can sell it or whatever.
Yeah. Well, listen, what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll pick up where we left off. You're watching the RYC Live show, and we will be right back.
Fight once more, my style. Fight me. We came here to battle.
Bruce Lee in the mix, right here, RYC Live. Tell me, I did not just beat him.
You're pretty good.
Welcome back to the RYC Live show, and we have our special guest, brother DJ Chainsaw, in the building. Yeah, and just had a couple comments that I wanted to acknowledge from some of the viewers. My man Wade checking in once again from Atlanta says greetings from Atlanta. Shout out once again to brother Nino, says big ups from Phoenix, Arizona. And then we got our homeboy Image checking in, says Jay Rice in the building.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, and then Image also said Norman's was across the street from Alco's.
Yeah, it was like right down the street. It was across the street, but like down some.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So you actually got them to actually start buying rap.
Yeah, because they didn't know nothing about rap, so I started running up there with my little list.
Wow.
And they was getting it for me. They was getting what I asked for. They was getting it.
That's what's up. So that was kind of like your first spot to pick up your records then, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
Wow. That's kind of cool, man. Yeah, because you had to find somewhere to get your records, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I got into DJing, and I just kind of did it for the fun, but I had to go to get, because like we had we had a little local record store in our neighborhood. It was called Metro Music.
Yeah.
And but they didn't really specialize in rap music, you know, during that time. They had a little bit, but it didn't. They was more of a they kind of focused on more of the other genres like R&B and soul and jazz and, you know, various other movements, but they didn't really, you know, hit too much on rap, you know what I'm saying, like that. So when I started getting into the DJing aspect, I had to go to stores like Dr. Wax and Gramophone.
Right, yeah, I went there. Yeah, you go there too, right? Dr. Wax Gramophone. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, those stores was way out of my area. You know, when I went to Dr. Wax, that was in Hyde Park.
Right.
The Gramophone was all the way on the north side.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We used to travel to those too.
Yeah. So that's interesting though, man, because like you say, listening to HBK definitely educated us because, you know, I would remember too, like you was doing, you know, recording the shows, listening to the playback and trying to figure out, oh, okay, so the name of this song, because you know how sometimes you would hear a song, but you didn't know the name of it.
Right.
You know, and you know, but the more you start hearing it, you start learning the themes of the titles of these songs.
Right.
And then you knew what to look for when you went to go try to shopping if you wanted to get the record or the CD or the cassette tape or whatever.
Exactly.
You knew what to look for, you know. But yeah, man, you know, and I really believe that if it wasn't for HBK, we wouldn't have learned all about that underground hip hop like we did as early as we did.
Exactly.
You know, because we wasn't hearing that type of stuff nowhere else.
Right. Definitely not. WBMX and all those back then. No. Yes, I was glad that my brother homie introduced me to that.
Yeah. So talk about, you know, the coming together of the groups. Like, and this is what I want to kind of get into. But I want to see if we can break it down in some type of sequence because, again, like you mentioned, Kingdom. I know Kingdom was in a group. What was it called? TDFC, the Deaf
Technical Deaf Fresh Crew.
There you go, Technical Deaf Fresh Crew. There you go. So, and Kingdom has a lot of crews, but you know, so let's talk about, like you mentioned, like Purple Mansion, you know, Rand Nation. You know, there were a lot of other hip hop organizations here in Chicago too,
right?
That cultivated people that began to grow and develop and create other crews. Right. So for you on your trail and your path, talk a little bit about that, you know, how that continued to develop. Because were you a part of Rand Nation?
Yeah, I was part of Rand Nation. I was part of Empire Destruction, you know, with Vakil, Sinister Death and all them, Octagon, all them.
Right.
I'm trying to think of the group that we had in the Wells with I can't think of it. Oh, that's Rand Nation. What I'm thinking about, right? Rand Nation.
Right.
Right.
So Rand Nation was kind of the first, wasn't it, for you?
Yeah.
All?
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. You know, I it's interesting, man. I was always Shy-Rock, right? And you know, we even though back in the day before Shy-Rock, we were claiming Zulu, even though we wasn't officially Zulu. You know, right. You know, we just knew it was connected to hip hop.
Exactly.
And that's why we like, oh, okay, you see us in the pictures doing that.
Right.
But, you know, when we realized that we had to we needed to create our own identity, that's when Shy-Rock was born.
Right.
And it was really born because of the Zulu Nation. You know, we wanted to kind of step away and create our own identity. And we felt like, you know, we from Chicago, you know, we got to have something that's going to represent where we come from.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, you know, it's interesting. Like when you think about Purple Mansion and Rand Nation, there was also East Rock and Def Rock, you know, all these other hip hop organizations, you know, I was thinking that it was interesting because, you know, everybody wanted to just be, you know, identified.
Right.
You know,
they want to be a part of something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about that in terms of how those movements begin to develop for you all in terms of you being members in Rand Nation. And I remember when you guys became you know, the Empire Destruction, you know, and that was, you know, but then it didn't last as long because eventually you guys became the Ill State Assassins. So can we just kind of highlight how this whole thing, because sometimes people don't understand the transitioning part, and then sometimes people don't even know that they were. Some people don't realize how the connections occurred.
Right. I mean, as far as Ran Nation, because that was basically all the guys, all some of the rappers off the low end, But what happened was, as time went on, some people just wasn't putting in the work, like they was at first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When it came to hip hop and all that, hip hop started being secondary to them, and things like that. So, and people start going this way and that way. So I think that's how Ran Nation end up, falling apart.
Okay.
And then that's when Empire Destruction came around. Okay. With Vakil and everybody, and we was having a nice run with Empire Destruction. You know what I'm saying? I still say it to this day, Empire Destruction. But what happened with that was, I know it was a meeting. As far as I can remember, it was a meeting we had one time at Vakil house, and all of us was there, and it was something that everybody wanted to do, but we didn't agree on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I know I didn't agree with it. Kingdom didn't agree with it. Master didn't agree with it. And Riot didn't agree with it. And it was more like, well, the majority rules.
Okay.
So we're going to run what it was. I couldn't remember what it was. It was something that we didn't like. You know what I'm saying? But all of them agreed on. So after that, it was more like we had a meeting after the meeting. And from whatever it was, I don't think because it was no ill feelings towards Vakil. It's just what it was. We just didn't want to do that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a direction we was thinking.
Okay.
So that's how we end up just branching out like, well, we need to start our own. You know what I'm saying? And do it the way we want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's when the concept of Ill State wasn't born yet, but that was actually the beginning.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Me, Riot Kingdom, and Massive. And we had an idea just to go around and try to find the dopest rappers, the illest rappers in Chicago, and put them all under one umbrella and everything.
Okay.
So that's how that ended up forming. So we started, doing more of us. You know what I'm saying, and not I don't want to say not dealing with Vakil and them. You know what I'm saying? We still, because we always cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we just want to do something else. It wasn't what they wanted to do, wasn't what we had plans for.
Okay.
That's as far as I can remember, as far as what it was. How we broke off, from Empire Destruction.
Okay.
And then that's when we started, going around and different neighborhoods and, different people's hoods and battling them and, you know what I'm saying, see how good they are. We hear about a rapper, we go into their hood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, thinking about it now, that was stupid as hell. Because you don't know how their mentality was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we was young, so we weren't thinking that.
Right.
So we, go in their hood. Anything could have happened. We ain't thinking that. Because all we thinking is hip hop rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It could have been, we could have won, and they could have been like, jumped them up,
Yeah.
So we started doing that. So, and from there, I know when we started moving around, I know Hell, and I know Hell wants to come with us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's how they end up coming to Ill State. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to, ride with what we was riding with, and things like that. So from there, we just started trying to, make some noise, and we was trying to think of a name. You know what I'm saying? Because we had Kingdom Rocks Productions. That was one of the first names. You know what I'm saying? Cause, under Kingdom Rock Productions, and then from there, that's when Riot started bringing people to my house from school. They'll cut school, come to my house, and that's where your toxins pop up and, stuff like that, pop up in the game. And then bring in, that's where, Twister came through, stuff like that, because all of them was really basically coming through my house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're, we going to Chain House. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be cool over there. Chain cool. You know, they come to my house and I rap and all this. So let me hear you and all this and all that type of stuff and everything. You know, that's how Lati, Knowledge, all of them came through there.
Were you all also having meetings at your crib too?
Yeah, I think we had probably a couple of meetings.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think my house was the official meeting house.
Okay.
You know, I know Kingdom. We used to be in that Kingdom house.
Okay.
You know, I know we did that.
Okay. But your spot was definitely the spot when it came for the music.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to record because by then I had a little a little microphone hanging from a hanger inside the closet. I have a tape deck, and then my uncle had passed, and he had left my mother some money, and she had gave me $2,500, so we had riding us with, and we wouldn't have brought a R5.
Okay.
And that's one of the first. Excuse me. The first drum machine I had was an R5. That and a Casio keyboard. Nice. That used to have this little 4-pass on there where you could sample.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we used to, ride. We make the beat and sample a little something and try to keep it on track and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because we couldn't sync it up, so we used to have to keep it on track. Everything and like that. So. Yeah, so from there, then that's where everybody started coming through. We making beats, doing songs, right then. That's when D Nilla he came. Where I brought D Nilla through, Determination, and that's really started the form of Ill State. Even though it wasn't Ill State yet, that was really starting to form of Ill State from the guys that they was bringing through my house.
Wow. Shout out to our homeboy, right, checking in right here.
Yes, sir. That's my guy, Daffy Illa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said,
yes, sir. Ill for life.
Ill for life. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The guy is. And then we got Dean checking in. Dean Turns checking in, says the Dean loves y'all. Funky Fresh.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so now I understand that you all had and I just want to give a little clarity to the viewers for those that don't know. So Empire Destruction was several people representing that when it was, when it was alive, right?
Yeah, it was actually a lot of us in there. In Empire Destruction, it was a lot of us.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because I know Fear was also a part of Empire Destruction.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Titan was there. Oh, man, that's Titan. Venom, Hemlock, everybody, Nightmare, everybody was there. We was all there. All there.
And then you guys had, and how would you kind of describe it? Because No Pity was in there too, right? How did that come to be?
As far as No Pity, I'm assuming that they just branched off too.
Gotcha.
That's the only thing I could think of. They
so had, like a division. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Right. They just gone ahead, broke off, and started No Pity.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about let's get into how the pot started to brew for what we know that eventually became the Ill State Assassins.
Yeah. Then from there, let me see. We started, battling other crews. We still didn't come up with Ill State Assassin. We was coming up with what names we had. One name we had was called ABA, All Bullshit Aside,
Okay.
But that didn't last long.
Okay.
Then we had CIA, Chicago Infinite Assassins.
Okay.
So that was close, but we was like, that's just not it.
Right.
We got to find something. That's not it.
Right.
And it's like we got to find something, not just for Chicago. We want to represent the whole state. That's what we was talking about.
Right.
We don't want to just represent Chicago. We want to represent the whole state. Now, this way it get murky. Because I don't know who exactly came up with Ill State Assassins.
Okay.
And said she came up with it.
Okay.
Kingdom said he came up with it. I believe Master said he came up with it.
Wow.
and they come to me and ask me who came up with it. And I said, tell them the truth. I said, I can't remember.
Now you guys were also kind of considered, from what I've been hearing, considered to be the 4 horsemen, right?
Right, yes.
Okay, and that was
Right.
early on.
Right. That's
But
the first ones who started it. Right.
Right. But then, but the beginning or foundation part of what became the Ill State Assassin, you know, various people are saying that they came up with it.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But I can't remember who came up with it.
Okay.
I just know I remember hearing it and I said, "That's it right there."
Gotcha.
I just because the first thing they said was Illinois State Assassins.
Okay.
They would say, "No, cut it off to Ill State Assassins," and then
Okay.
that's when we ran with Ill State Assassins. But I don't know which one of them came up with it first.
Gotcha.
Okay, I just remember hearing the name and I said, "I love it. That's it right there."
Gotcha. Now, what do you remember? What year that was when you guys agreed to say, "Let's make this become Ill State Assassins"?
I think that had to be 90.
Okay, so 90.
It had to be 90 because I know I met Angie in 89 because I had just graduated. So I met her in 89 and we won Ill State then.
Okay.
Because she was there when we first said Ill State Assassin. So it had to be like 90, 91 or something around that time.
Gotcha. Interesting, man. So that's interesting. Yeah. So because 90, in that year we had began to have the meetings over in Hyde Park.
Right.
You know, and first we were having them at the Museum of Science and Industry.
Right.
And then when we got kicked out of there, we ended up going across the street to what became the Terror Dome.
Right, exactly.
and that was in 1990 when we first started going across the street to the Terror Dome.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Good times, man. That was good times.
Yeah.
That was always something to look forward to every week.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It definitely was good. You know, I remember like when, Chicago was pretty well known for having what became what we call all city meetings.
Right.
And, even some of the cats from New York was like, what is that? What is an all city meeting? But in hindsight, it made a lot of sense because, we were trying to just unite.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? With other fellow hip hoppers. And, we like, hey, we're going to have a meeting.
Right.
And it's open to the public. So, hey,
Exactly.
Let's go.
Let's go. And everybody showed up. Right.
Right.
And everybody showed up.
My homeboy Kingdom is checking in.
Yeah, Paseo.
Yeah, man. But it when you think about it, like you said, those were definitely good days. Were definitely good days. I remember, making a lot of phone calls. You know what I'm saying? Kingdom and I talk about how we would collect signatures and phone numbers from people coming to these meetings and the parties and the events.
Yeah.
But that was our way to connect with people, because we didn't have the internet and, and cell phones and stuff like that back then.
Right.
So it was just kind of like, hey, you know what? When I get home, I'm gonna call you.
You're right. Exactly.
Put your name and number on this sheet of paper.
and it worked.
And that's how we kept in touch. You know what I'm saying? That was integral. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when we got ready to have another meeting, it just made sense because now we got this master list of names and information and numbers and stuff. It's like, okay, I'm gonna just go down the list. Hey, listen, we gonna have we call them the meeting. And I remember when we started having the meetings at the Museum of Science and Industry, man, and it was really fun. I wish we had more documentation of it. You know what I'm saying? But it was really fun. And I remember it kept growing and growing and growing. To the point to where they was just like, these kids are being too disruptive. Y'all got to get out of here with that.
Yeah.
So we up in here rapping and breaking.
Doing
They're like, y'all got to go.
Y'all got to get out of here. They sort of pull us out like y'all got to go.
Kingdom said, I just got back from Flint, upset I missed this interview. Yeah, Kingdom, man. Hey, we understand, man. It happens, man. It definitely happens, and but it's been good. I'm enjoying it, and it's good to reminisce. And like I say, you get to talking, man, and stuff start coming back.
Right.
You start remembering stuff, and when I was at Dunbar, I remember Riot used to run around. He was a very animated character.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, and even though I knew Kingdom, Riot was really the first person that I connected out of y'all with out of y'all crew that I spent the most time with.
Right.
You know, because Riot really is, and I don't know if you guys even know it, but Riot was the first recruit into Chiraq. He was the first recruit out of y'all.
Yeah,
out of y'all
we
group.
know it.
Yeah,
because Ryan would say it all the time. He was always say Chiraq. Yeah. Ryan always represented Chiraq, always.
And it was because, you know, for some reason, you know, we connected because we were both graffiti writers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already Chiraq when I met Riot.
Right.
So Riot was like, hey man, you know, I want to get down, you know, and you know, I just kind of remember like, man, you know, I got to talk to the fellas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, because, you know, it was one of those things where, you know, we had channels and it was kind of like, you just don't want to let anybody in the group, you know.
Yeah, a pecking order, right.
Yeah, you know, but Riot definitely, he stayed on top of me. You know, he was constantly begging and pleading his case. Hey man, you know, so and so. So I let the fellas know, and then he got down with the crew. And see, with us, Chiraq was the organization, but we also had a big group, Basif. Basif and the Syndicate was like brother and sister crew, but they were not just one element, they represented all the elements.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the one thing that I loved about Chiraq in general is it represented hip hop culture in its essence.
Right.
You know, and that's what it was all about for us. And so when Riot got down, man, I think it was pretty much a done deal, and it made sense for other people from y'all clan to come in because Riot was he came in through me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Riot came in through me, you know, and you know, and then after that, it was pretty much over.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and I think that was another beautiful thing. It was kind of like, you know, we wanted to help people to understand that what we have going on here is about us in our own city. You know, like New York was the Zulu nation. They, you know, it was just like, okay, I knew some people that were Zulu and everything, and you know, and some of the original Zulus and stuff like that. But it was kind of like, yeah, but you know, but I'm originally from Chicago, so we got to have something for ourselves. Just like you were saying, you know, you got to have something that you could feel that you could represent of your own here in your own home.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and it's just like, you know, we were going through that whole thinking process too, of trying to figure out what we're going to come up with. What's the name going to be?
Right.
You know? And once we figured it out, it was just like, okay, this is it, man. You know, Chiraq Nation.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. And I'm really glad y'all created that. I really am.
Yeah.
You know, that gave a whole different tone for Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, New York has Zulu, we had Chiraq. You know what I'm saying? Whole different tone.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Kingdom is making some more comments. He said, I'm going to watch the playback. He said, Lil Cuz was all elements. Riot 1 down by law. Yeah.
Oh,
he definitely was. You know, Riot and I, you know, Riot used to get on my nerve a lot, even back then.
Oh man.
But, you know, he had a lot of zeal. You know what I'm saying?
Ryan was Ryan to get on your nerves. He know.
Yeah.
He'll tell you been times when I didn't even want to be bothered with him. You know what I'm saying? I see him coming across the street like I ain't finna be bothered with him right now. He'll knock on the door and I'll play like I'm my father. Like, who is it? All right, Chain here. No, he ain't here. And he'll tell me the next time I see, man, I know that was you because your light was on when I was crossing the street. And then when I walked back, it's off. I knew that was you. But you gotta love the dude, man.
For sure, man.
Ryan is like he was just that ball of energy. You know what I'm saying? That you need around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You always need a ball of energy around. And Ryan was that ball of energy.
Yeah.
Ryan was that ball of energy.
Definitely. So let's talk about you guys. So now you guys actually become the Ill State Assassins. What was the objective of that group when it became, you know, labeled as the Ill State Assassin? What was y'all objective?
Our objective, we was trying to find the dopest rappers, producers in Chicago. That was our main goal.
Okay.
DJs, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? You do graffiti, whatever. We was just trying to find the dopest ones and put them under the umbrella. You know, that was the whole goal. That's what we was aiming at, and then trying to get record deals going or whatever the thing would be. That was the main thing about Ill State.
Yeah. I remember when a lot of the other members came around in '93, and because in '93 that's when we actually formed the chapters.
Right.
And I remember you guys were chapter 15. And it was interesting because it was supposed to be the final chapter, but it just seemed like a lot of people just was coming out of nowhere trying to become Shy-Rock all of a sudden, right?
Right.
And we was just like, okay, we can't put everybody in chapter 15.
Right.
And I know Kingdom always say, but hey, that was supposed to be the final chapter.
Yeah, because I swear when it was said that that's the final chapter, we love that. We love that title, the final chapter. Like that's right. It was the final chapter of Shy-Rock.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's interesting, man. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how things continue to develop. Because you guys went on to do some great and magnificent things, man. As a organization, in my opinion, I think you guys were probably the only, group or collective of artists that was independently ran to the point of achieving success, more so than anybody else with the amount of members that you had that was a part of the Ill State Assassins.
Right.
At that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember because I was, at the time I was doing the Chicago Rocks magazine, and I remember, highlighting, E.C. Illa and, D to the S, and then you guys, let's talk a little bit about, because within the Ill State Assassins, you guys had crews,
right? So
you all were 3 in the Chamber, and then you eventually became the Chamber. So let's talk a little bit about the history behind that.
Well, at first, the Chamber was just Riot and Toxic.
Okay.
Because me and Massive had a crew. So we was Third World Mafia.
Gotcha.
That was our crew name. But I'm trying to think what happened. I can't remember if Massive slowed up on writing at the time, and everything, and me and Ryan was, producing, doing stuff and everything, and they had, and then I remember them coming to me about being in the Chamber,
okay.
And that's how 3 in the Chamber came about, them Ryan and Toxic put me in the Chamber.
Okay.
So as far as that, we took the 3 off, I think, because at the time the company we was dealing with thought it'd be more, I guess, marketable by saying the Chamber.
Okay.
The 3 in the Chamber, and it's funny because one day I was when we was having one of our Ill State meetings at Columbia College, and I happened to get down there early, so I'm sitting outside, where the window pane thing. I'm sitting out there, and these 2 guys was over on the side of me at the window pane, and they was talking. They talking about hip hop. So they just happened to bring up the Chamber, and one of the guys said, "Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The Chamber, them guys called." He's like, and one of the other guys said, "Man, they some sellouts." He said, "Why you say they sellout?" He said, "Because they was 3 in the Chamber. Now all of a sudden they the Chamber. Man, that's sucker." He said, "That's sucker shit."
Wow.
He didn't know I was with her. I just sat there and listened. I said, "Wow." I said, "I didn't even think of it like that."
Wow.
He
Interesting.
said, the dude was like, "No, man, they still." He said, "Man, they all right, man, but man, they shouldn't change that. They should have kept 3 in the Chamber." Oh, he was pissed.
Wow.
He was pissed.
Wow. Now, had you planned to be an artist in the group, or were you always continuing to trying to stay as the DJ?
Well, as far as the DJ thing, I was doing it, but we started getting more DJs in. We had got EQ came in. Then we got Mad Billa came in. Then Riot knew how to DJ. Shit. Then we got Static. He came in. He knew how to DJ. We were just getting so many DJs that it kind of, I don't want to say wore off of me. It was just more like when I used to write too. You know what I'm saying? I was writing, and when Riot got a hold of my folder, you know what I'm saying, let him see it, he encouraged me more to start rapping.
Okay.
Because he was like, man, some of this stuff here you saying, he said, man, you need to be rapping. So he started pushing me forward to rapping. And then as far as on the producer side, the reason I kind of slid off because I noticed Riot talent. That's what I noticed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was good, but I started noticing Riot being great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm a guy that plays my position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Riot was doing things with my own equipment that I couldn't do.
Okay.
That's what I started knowing Riot was great. Because
Okay.
I'm like, I'm over here with this equipment all the time. But when Riot pops up, he figures some new stuff out. He was just amazing me.
Right.
He didn't even know it. I was sitting there amazed at him, like, this dude, you know what I'm saying? And Riot was doing it.
Right.
So I that's why I kind of slid back, and I wanted him to get up front.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted Riot to get up front. I wanted Mad to get up front because Mad was also producer too, because we had brought him into Two Funky Squad.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? We had Two Funky Squad. So
I remember Two Funky Squad.
Two Funky Squad, right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And their passion for the music was more than mine. I love the music, but I could tell how they was having more of an ear for it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't gonna try to just, be one of those, it's my equipment, or what I'm saying? So I started this, you know what I'm saying, and disrupt when I see greatness in my face.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Riot and Mad showing me greatness. I'm not gonna get in their way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At an early age, Riot showing me stuff that on my own equipment. You know what I'm saying? And I was amazed by it. You know what I'm saying? He took my R5 because we didn't even have a 808 drum. And he took my R5 and whatever he took the toms and all that and twisted it, did this and that, and he made an 808 out of it. I would never even thought of that.
Wow.
But Riot thought of that.
Wow.
That's how amazing he was to me.
Gotcha.
He was just amazing. So I always, that's why I slid back, like, let Riot be the front man on the production because he deserved it.
And at this time, when Riot was doing this type of stuff, he didn't even have his own equipment. He was using yours.
Yeah, he was using my equipment.
Wow.
He was using mine, and Riot was doing it. He was doing it with the little equipment I had. Riot was just being a genius with it.
Gotcha.
He was being a genius with it.
Wow. That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That is amazing. And at some point, you guys eventually started going into studio, using studio time, right? Because obviously, in order for you guys to begin to start making the music that you guys start making,
right,
you had to have some equipment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we started getting our hands on more equipment and everything. Then we started branching off to the studio, to get it, get more, professional with it.
Okay. What's some of the studios y'all went to?
We went to here I go forgetting the studios we went to.
Okay.
We went to Jerry Jackson studio up north. That's where we met EC at.
Okay.
Pro Sounds.
Okay.
Pro Sound studio. And then we went to Byron studio over there on Halsted. What the hell? I can't remember his damn studio. Smooth Sound. Okay. Smooth Sound studio. Yeah, gotcha. There was the two main studios we was going to.
Okay, here go Kingdom. He says A studio.
Right, A studio, Pro Sounds, Track, and Gramophone.
Gotcha.
There you go. Yep.
Okay. Interesting. Yep. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's what's up, man. Man, and man, I remember it. I remember the feeling during the time when y'all was making the music, you know what I'm saying? The whole situation with, like with D to the S and you all, and EC, it was just like Ill State had so many talented artists all under that umbrella, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that, it was funny because I was starting to hear other stuff and I'm like, like, they also, these guys are always starting fights too. And I'm
right.
See,
like, see, you know what the thing about that art? I know that was gonna get touched on,
right?
And they always always try to say Ill State start the fights, but it wasn't us starting no fight. This the whole thing. When we first started and we finally came up with the name Ill State. When we used to go to parties and everything was cool.
Right.
We partied with everybody, this, that. The problem came once we got those jackets and they saw us uniformed up. And people started getting jealous over that. And that's the whole truth. Because when we was just wearing regular jackets, this and that, it was no problem.
Gotcha.
It was no problem. Look at Ill State, blah, blah, blah. All us chilling, this and that. Soon as we got those jackets, the first time we got those jackets and hats and we came to the club and everybody turned around and saw us, that's when the problems started coming in. Because we wasn't having no fights before.
Wow.
We wasn't having no fights before.
The jealousy kicked in because y'all was unified.
Because we was uniformed up. We was uniformed up. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We came in that day, some people, was cool with it, but some looked at crazy, who they think they are, or, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Did everybody have one or
we all had one.
Gotcha.
We all had one. You know what I'm saying? We all had one.
Gotcha.
Everybody had a jacket. Everybody had a jacket.
I've heard some people say they wanted one, like Aztec said he wanted. It was people that wasn't members of y'all group that had wanted one of those jackets.
Yeah. It was a few people that asked us about those jackets,
Yeah.
And I like to thank my guy T Fly. T Fly, he actually the one who brought us those jackets.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? At the time, you know what I'm saying? One of Big Rap rapping our homies, Doc Illa homies,
Gotcha.
T Fly, you know what I'm saying? A good dude, he was a real good dude. You know what I'm saying? And he had brought us the jackets because he got one out. All us had them jackets.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? It seemed like as soon as we had those jackets on, that's when we started getting problems.
Really?
Because we was like everybody else. We just come to enjoy the music and hip hop and like everybody else.
Right.
We do go home. But as soon as we got them jackets, that's when we started getting into confrontations with people, want to challenge us and all that. And we we weren't going around what do you say? Medusa was our first fight with the skinheads. Grand Reapers was first. I'm talking about the Grand Reapers jackets. I forgot all about that fight. Because the Grand Reaper jackets was first.
Okay.
With them long, you remember when they had people started wearing them long.
I remember.
Jackets, and we got Ill State assassins put on the back of it.
I remember that.
Yeah, those were our first Ill State jackets. But once we got the official jacket with T Fly had got us, that's when all the problems came in.
Wow.
They talked like we was coming to parties just to start a fight. Like,
right.
Man, bro, these are the same people that we was hip hopping with from day one. All of a sudden, we come in here to start a fight with you.
Right.
Come on, man. We wasn't on that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even want to go through each fight or war, whatever they want to call it, that we had. But I can tell you, each one had it all started. It wasn't from Ill State.
Okay.
It was from the other crew said something or did something, and then we got involved, and that's how it went down. You know what I'm saying? We want to come in there. Why we want to come shut down the hip hop spot when we ain't even got that many in Chicago? That don't even make sense.
Right.
But everybody always want to point Ill State because we got the jackets on Ill State. Ill State did that. Ill State came and did. Like, come on, man. They was putting us in places we wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? Other crews fighting, and they say Ill State had something to do with it. Like we're talking about, we was on the west side. We was over on the west side at that time. But y'all got over here somehow. Come on, man. It was just crazy. That was just crazy.
Wow. Hey, listen, I wanted to ask you, and I forgot earlier, but how did you come up with the name Chainsaw? Okay.
Because Keenum gonna debate me on this, so this is how I came up with it.
Okay.
But he gonna tell you how he came up with giving me Chainsaw. I was looking for a DJ name, you know what I'm saying? Because I was going by J-Rock, but I wanted another name, a DJ name. So I was listening to Salt and Pepper one day, and I was listening to their song Desire. Because I desire, and I'm listening to it, and I heard him say, "Spin the record, cut the record like a chainsaw," and I said, "Damn!" And it just sparked in my hand. I rewind it back on my turntable, and it's like, "Spin the record, cut the record like a chainsaw," and I just started scratching chainsaw, Chainsaw. I said, that's it. DJ Chainsaw. Now Kingdom, he's gonna come with his version of it. Because you ask Kingdom, he gonna say, nope. I gave him that name because that's how he gonna come up with it.
Well, it's interesting how there our history. Oh, he said no, I'm not. It's interesting though how our history plays out where we've come up with like how some people have given people a name and then some people others have given themselves their name. But it's interesting how some of the roles play dual.
Right.
like you was just saying, like, hey, this is my version from what I
Right.
recall, and then somebody else might say, like you say, oh, well, I also did this and it had parts to do with that, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
What I'm saying. So, it's interesting when you hear it out. And I think at the end of the day, as long as people are telling the truth, because,
Right.
a situation can happen with stuff developing and it could be a series of things that one or more people may not be paying attention to at the time that it's happening.
Right.
Well, obviously, you're going to tell your perspective from where you've seen it from your vantage point.
Right.
Somebody else is going to talk about it from another vantage point,
Right.
and it can be very similar, but at the same time different.
Exactly. That's and that's funny because that's how I met. That's the first time I met DA Smart was because of my name Chainsaw.
Okay.
The first time I met DA was at HBK. We up at WHBK, and that's at the time when DA was loud. DA was loud. He was just loud with everything.
Yeah.
He came inside the record room part, and he said, "Who is Chainsaw?" I don't know this dude for nothing. I'm looking. I said, "I'm Chainsaw." You DJ Chainsaw? I said, "Yeah." I was gonna name my DJ Chainsaw until I heard it's already a chainsaw. Now I can't name him Chainsaw.
Oh, that's DA.
That was the first time I met DA, and I've been cool with that brother ever since, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, listen, man, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get ready to conclude, but before we do,
Okay.
I wanted to play the video, hood thing, and then I wanted you to kind of like summarize your book and what you got going on today, and then we'll close out. Okay. So let's take a look for all the viewers that still tuned in with us. Let's take a look at this video. This is The Chamber, and it's entitled Hood Thing.
Hiding in neon spots, taking shots at those who taking props. In hip-hop, it's time to fake and stop. Yeah, you're making lots of cash, but put them on stage and see if they can rock not. So I grab my 12 gauge and pop. Fading blocks of MCs with those weak flows. So within sheets close, your whole technique is stole. Talking all that hard shit, you need to stroll through my streets and roads. Meet the roads that'll leave your soul full of hoes. Every day a brother grows up, his mom's slap, jumping on every road for more bucks. So as hard becomes cold as cold cuts. Whatever hood he's in, that's the set he grows up. Show up. Plus my brother feels he has to rob for another meal, while his mother still running undercover deals just for thrills. When she gets the loot bills, she buys more drugs and pills. So when this OG OD, he just proceeds to do bad deeds, drinking 40, smoking weed. He was 13, now he has 20 years, still sipping plenty beers, selling drugs to his peers. Now here's how he's living, making understood, dedicated to his hood, up to no good. Should I pump step and try to take his rep? Attack to the neck, yo, would get him some respect. While other hoods choose to check microphones and catch wreck when the mic is on. I like the type of songs that are hardcore, so when I write tunes, I have your head banging walls like my inside a typhoon. Make room for the hardcore B-boys from the hood, up to no good. It's a hood vibe, make it understood. The hood that's up to no good. It's a hood vibe, make it understood. For the real sick church that's up to no good. It's a hood vibe, make it understood. But those hustling in the hood and up to no good. It's a hood vibe, make it understood. For the real ill kids that's up to no good. Rolling through the hoods of the
ill marks get voted back. Cause the whack tracks that you jock don't know this one that roll up, show up. Still don't mean that you will blow up, blow your brain up the frame and leave your whole clique torn up. Chicago hood, let's get this understood. It's the Midwest. You talk about a place to result. It's holy flesh. Cause your clique made a hit. Still don't mean that we're hurt of the ill skills like Emily Bill. Hip hop microphone murderers.
On the block, serving box, hoods don't follow rules. They use hollow tools to break up crews like molecules. You get bruised and swallow shoes, busting heads with bottle brews. On the streets, I paid a lot of dues, battled a lot of crews. My brain's got no screws in it, that's why my attitude's timid. You look a lot like that brother that you mimic. So when you get finished, you and your whole style's a gimmick. When you hear a sentence of my hardcore rock, you better break like we get up on the cardboard box and stop talking about your word born. When your word's still a fetus, or get greeted by my Adidas, the CPR's lead.
What's your piece to leave? Why your head is headed for the concrete? No repeats, I run back to you like if I was carrying with my rocket. So tippy toe, but don't you go dumb. Chicago hoods on where you at is what we come from. It's the ill, but don't even start, cause you ain't got the art. And no art, cause if you was a match, you couldn't even
Or like the fuse, I'm amused on the tactics that you choose. How could you miss when you can't take out no Chicago crew?
And that's the little pack cats when you hear ill track. Watch your back and you get smacked by your own bat. And I'ma fuck you so you can feel the flow. Just to let you know that folk on the record blowing up Chicago. Hood thing. Hood thing. It's a hood thing.
Make it understood. The hood that's up to no good. It's a hood thing. Make it understood.
For the real bitch that's up to no good.
It's a hood thing. Make it understood. For those hustling in the hood and up to no good. It's a hood thing. Make it understood.
For the real sick church that's up to no good.
It's a hood thing. Make it understood. For the boys in the hood that's up to no good. It's a hood thing. Make it understood.
For the real ill bitch that's up to no good.
It's a hood thing. Make it understood. For the hood that's up to no good. It's a hood thing.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. That definitely brings back memories. And I also want to thank you brothers too, man. I believe Riot was the one that called me up and and let me know that you guys were doing the video and invited me down to be a part of that. So that was dope. I appreciated being a part of that video shoot, you know, and just the whole experience, man. It was just nice to see y'all put that together and put it out there.
Right. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Great stuff. So before we close out, let's tell the viewers about your project, your book. This was your first one here, but obviously you have more. But let's talk about this one in general, briefly, and tell us what inspired you to want to do this project.
I always thought Ill State needed a like the little, the shot rock on the back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I always thought Ill State had a good was a good story to tell. You know what I'm saying? From being in it and seeing things. I couldn't put everything I wanted in the book. You know what I'm saying? For to protect certain names, but I just thought Ill State had a good story. You know, like a lot of groups out there. When you finally see their story, you like, wow. Certain things you just didn't know. Yeah. And plus, I want to make sure we basically get etched in stone. As far as in the Chicago hip hop, archive or whatever, so we wouldn't be forgotten, because one thing I noticed when I be seeing a lot of interviews, and right now I want to give a shout to Young Buck, Buck, a cycle drum, because I watched one of his interviews the other day, and he was on All Access, and I see a lot of people in Chicago that was affiliated with Ill State, but won't mention Ill State name, but this brother mentioned Ill State Assassin's name. Gotcha. And I wasn't even expecting him to say it, and he brought it out. That's good. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give him, I'm thankful for that. But but basically, as far as the book, just like I told everybody when I wrote it, this is my story of Ill State. I says, like my assassins, when they read it, you reading it from my perspective. You know what I'm saying? If you got a different perspective, write your own book. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's why I titled it, you know what I'm saying, Our Time, My Story. You know what I'm saying? That was our time, but this is my story of what I seen and through the times when we was with Ill State and all that, when Ill State was together and we was out there on the road or whatever, doing what we was doing.
Yeah. And how can people pick up your book if they're interested in purchasing their own copy?
They can pick it up on Amazon. You also can pick it up on the Book Patch. And you can also go to my website, jwrice.com. Let me take that back, jwricesr.com.
Okay.
So that's my personal website, and you can order it from there if you want a personal copy and want me to, sign it for you, and I'll mail it out to you.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, hey, man, listen, man, I want to thank you so much, man, for all your contributions over the years. I remember, I think the first time I seen you perform live was at the Blue Gargoyle. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, this dude right here, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I was closer to Riot out of the crew more than anybody else because Riot and I we spent time together. I would come to his crib sometime, but he would come to my crib a lot of times too.
Yeah,
and we did spend some time together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he brought me to your crib one time.
Okay. Yeah.
One time. That's how I first met you. He brought me to your crib. He told me, he had me ride out to the hundreds with him. He like, ride out to the hundreds with him. I want to go to my guy artistic crib. So Graffiti right, my guy.
Yeah,
I came to your crib one time.
Wow. See, I don't even remember.
Right.
That.
Yes.
Hey,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I remember that. I saw all the spray paint cans and everything. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. In my mind, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Hip hop.
Yeah, man. Well, like I say, I thank you, man. Continue your journey, man. I know you're a continued polished publisher now and entrepreneur doing your thing with your book publishing, man, and it's great to see you. You continue to tell your story too, man. Whenever you get an opportunity to talk about what you've done, make sure you do.
Yeah,
because it's very important, man, for people to know what you've done before you can't tell it no more.
Exactly. Exactly.
And whenever you come across any of the items that you'd like to send over to us to donate for the Hip Hop Museum, please do so, man. We'll definitely continue to cherish and highlight any contributions or donations that we get from the artists. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's our heritage, it's our history.
Exactly. And I really appreciate y'all doing this, man.
Yeah.
JMD, Kingdom, all that. I appreciate that, man, because we definitely need this.
Yeah. It's just like it's like you say. This is our time, our story.
Right.
And nobody can tell your story better than you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So hey, man, say hello to the family and everybody, man. And I look forward to seeing you whenever you get a chance to come back to the Shy.
Oh yeah, I like I told you, I'll be back that way sometime next year. Coming back that way.
Okay. All right. Well, how can people connect with you if people want to learn more about you or show support to what you've been doing or what you're going to be doing in the future? How can they do that? What's your handles?
Oh, they can email me at jricesr@gmail.com. JWRICESR@gmail.com. Okay. That's what's up. All right, my brother. One more last question. What would you like to say in conclusion to any up and coming artist, whether it be DJ, MC, or whatever? What will be your words of advice that you would like to say, to conclude in conclusion to them coming up? Your words of advice. I'll just say, if you're passionate, stick to it, and it's real important to me to learn the history of where it came from. I think that's real important because like when we got into hip hop, we learned the history of it. We learned that, Kool Herc is the one who started it, and we learned from there, the Grandmaster Flashes and all that. It's just worth learning, So that's why I like to tell them.
That's what's up. And now people are beginning to learn about our history here in Chicago.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we learned a lot about New York, but we have our own right here in Chicago. So now it's time to tell those stories to, help people to understand. Oh wow, like you said, when you heard HBK, and you start hearing some rappers from Chicago, you're like, wait a minute, we got
right.
them like that here.
Exactly. and the thing is, and they can rap.
Yeah.
And the guys was rapping. I was like, they can rap.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, Majestic Force wasn't no joke.
Yeah. I was like, those guys can rap.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. Well, hey, man, one love. Peace out to you, brother Chain, man. And I look forward to seeing you real soon.
Okay, man.
All right, my brother. One love.
All right, bro.
Peace.